Hello, everyone. It's me again, Xeno, as well. You can see by, me. And today is another episode of Chantry Lectures. Yes, we're back in the Chantry, but as you can see, not in the usual room, because I was sent into the basement by the Regent for reasons. So now I will be here for a couple of episodes, most likely. But yeah, I'm back doing Chantry lectures, and today's topic is utmost intriguing, so to say. We'll be talking about a couple of obscure, very obscure, and rather forgotten bloodlines of, kindred, vampires, Cainites, or whatever you want to call them. We'll be talking about four of them. Why four? Yes. So without further ado, let's talk about first two. But Xeno, why two? Why not just one for start? Well, because these two are somehow connected with each other. Uh, and I guess those of you who sit rather deep in the world of darkness should know about them, kinda in a way. All right, so the first two bloodlines, no, bloodlines, will be Gaki and Bushi bloodlines or clans, whatever. So yeah, like I said, those of you who are familiar with World of Darkness should know these terms. Mostly because these are the names associated mostly with Kuei-Jin, right? So the Eastern vampires from, or no, kindred of the East. So why I'm talking about them? They are not kindred. They are not like Western vampires. They are not part of the 13 clans, like Tremere, Bruges, and was whatever. Uh, they used to be, kinda, in a way. So yeah, way before we got Kindred of the East, source book, the Splat, we got in, I guess it was like a first edition or a second edition before revised, that's for sure. We got a little two books. The first one was called A World of Darkness, or more intriguingly, World of Darkness, The Promised Land. It's not really the title of this book, but most people refer to it as such. And the other was Dark Alliance Vancouver, these two books. So the first one, The Promised Land, as I will be referring to it for now, introduced Gaki vampires. And the other, The Dark Alliance, introduced Bushi. So like I said, these two were later in Kindred of the East associated with, just being Kuei-Jin. Bushi being a group of Kuei-Jin, a house, so to speak, and Gaki was just a term used to describe Japanese Kuei-Jin. But that wasn't always the case. In Promised Land, Gaki are described as, yes, Asian or Japanese vampires, but they are rumored to be a kindred bloodline. They have many differences from, kindred Cainites, but they still kinda can be considered a bloodline. Especially, they have a very similar power system. They spend blood points, not, chi points, like, chi points. And they have a very special discipline, not Shintai discipline or soul discipline, like Kuei-Jin later, but blood discipline like Kindred, and it's called Rift. Uh, so yeah, Gaki are weird. They are rumored to be a bloodline, but later it was retconned to be just Kuei-Jin, and they are you could call them proto Kuei-Jin, I guess, because they, by making them, World of Darkness like laid the ground for what Kuei-Jin will be. So later Gaki were retconned to be Kuei-Jin and not kindred. But Bushi vampires from Dark Alliance Vancouver, great book by the way, they are called a clan. Like a clan or a bloodline. And they even have other disciplines, like kindred disciplines. While Gaki have their own weird disciplines, like Rift and some other strange magic that still can be considered disciplines. Bushi literally have access to celerity, presence, and a special discipline called Kai, which I guess means fist, if I remember correctly. And despite them having a different, mythology, kind of like Libon from Africa, from Kindred of the Ebony Kingdom, also great book, love it. This can be a similar situation. They are kinda kindred, but with this different background, with different origin legends about how they were created. They believed to be the children of Susano, the Japanese god. So yeah, these are Bushi that will later also retcons to be just a group of Kuei-Jin, a certain clan, a house Bushi, or something similar. But yeah, let's talk about their disciplines because they are very interesting. So Kai is kind of like a potence equivalent combined with fortitude, if you can call it that. And it allows Bushi vampires to, focus more, fight better, deal more damage, become more resistant, and stuff like that. It does sound like some other Shintai disciplines from Kuei-Jin and stuff like that, because like I said, these two laid the foundation of what Kuei-Jin will be in the future. And Gaki have the discipline Rift, which allows them to create rifts in space and, basically portals and travel through portals. So that's cool, I guess. So yeah, like I said before, Gaki are even more like future Kuei-Jin than Bushi. Bushi are still not exactly kindred, but they still have a clan weakness. They are bound by honor. So if they do something unhonorable, that would, contradict their Bushido, because they're very honorable samurais and stuff. So if they break this code of honor, they lose their access to disciplines. They can't use celerity, presence, Kai, and whatever other disciplines they possess. Obviously, they can learn other disciplines. And how do they get them back? Well, they need to find a way to cleanse this dishonor from themselves. This is a very spiritual curse. And how do they cleanse it? Depends on what they did, actually. In Dark Alliance Vancouver, it's given a example that in the past, samurais, human samurais, would commit seppuku, so the ritual suicide to cleanse their honor. So this is kind of along those lines, but without the suicide part. So Bushi needs to somehow regain their honor. I don't know, by avenging someone, helping someone else, something like this. So Bushi are very cool, Gaki are very cool, and now they are just, Kuei-Jin, which I love. I adore Kuei-Jin. I love Kindred of the East. Yes, they are a amalgamation of various Asian cultures, but so is the whole world of darkness. Like, Simitsi are just a bunch of Slavic myths mashed together with a, flesh and blood. Zimisi, my beloved. All right, so we have Bushi and Gaki, somehow obscure, somehow forgotten, retconned into being something else, but still somehow recognizable. Next bloodline is an interesting one. Why? Because it only appeared in a White Wolf magazine. Yes, White Wolf used to make magazines, a White Wolf magazine, and this bloodline is interesting because it appeared in a run of, I guess, like few of numbers, like three, describing a future setting for World of Darkness, the so-called future World of Darkness, which was basically a crossover of Vampire the Masquerade or the World of Darkness itself with Cyberpunk 2020. Yes, then it was 2020. Oh, how it aged well. I love it. But yeah, Night City and stuff. It's all here. Vampires with implants, werewolves riding on cybernetic motorcycles, trauma squads, Adam Smasher. I guess not Adam Smasher, but still uh, Night City and Edge Runners, stuff like that. Cyberpunk. And this Bloodlines, originally, very very original name. They have Cyberpunks. Yeah, very very original name. And what are Cyberpunks? Well, they are an artificial bloodline created by two kindred, one Caitiff and one Ravnos. They were created in Night City, and as of the events of, I guess, like 2016, it was set in the book, in the magazine. Uh, there isn't many of them, and they are not very young because it's a young bloodline, like 4 years old at best, maybe five. And for some reason, they are very Bruja-ish. Because of reasons I will talk about in a second. So yeah, the Bloodlines is entirely anarch, so there are no cyberpunks in Camarilla or Sabat as of this setting. And they have very interesting disciplines, like I said, very Bruja-ish, because they have celerity and potence, and a special discipline called Technica. Technica, boom, this word, uh, which allows them to control machines and cyberspace in a way. Uh, it is pointed out that it's very similar to thaumaturgical path of technomancy, controlling machines and stuff. But this is a separate discipline, not tied to this, to the thaumaturgy or any other sort of magic. So Technica allows cyberpunks to do things technomancy would allow a vampire to do. Converse with the machine's spirit, literally. Or if the machine has a very advanced AI, then you can converse with this AI even if it wasn't programmed to speak. You can merge with a machine, you can control it, you can power a machine from a distance, stuff like that. So a very interesting discipline. As for their weakness, cyberpunks, they are like most children in our modern world. They are addicted to technology in a way. As in, if they rely too much on their other disciplines other than Technica and using, gadgets and technology and computers, they lose willpower. They still can use other stuff, but they very much prefer to use technology and other cybernetic stuff than, other disciplines like their potence and celerity or some other things. They rely too much on technology, and if they don't use technology for an extended period of time or use too much of other things, they simply lose willpower. They must spend willpower to do these things, to hold themselves from using technology and technica, because yes. So these are cyberpunks. They appeared, like I said, in the White Wolf magazine number 36, if I remember correctly. And the other bloodline, you could know about Bushi and Gaki, Kuei-Jin. You could even know about cyberpunks because the world of Future Darkness is kind of resurfacing right now with many people creating homebrews, like revising it to V20 and stuff. But this bloodline is so obscure, it appeared only in one place, in a separate thing, and most of you don't know about it. But first, to introduce this bloodline, I need to talk about some lore in World of Darkness, mainly Australia. So here's a beautiful book, which I love, The Rage Across Australia. It's a supplement for I guess revised edition of Werewolf the Apocalypse, or the second edition. I can't recall right now. But it describes what Australia in World of Darkness is, how it's organized and stuff. And the book states that prior to the colonization of Australia, there were no vampires there. None, null, nada. It does mention vampire-like creatures called Gurumukas. I guess I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, I'm sorry. And they are rumored to be some gangrels that migrated to Australia through water, like swam, or they somehow appeared there. But we don't really have rules for them. They are just rumors. Obviously, there are now vampires in Australia because colonization, migration, and looking for power everywhere. But prior to that, there were vampires in Australia, except these rumored Gurumukas. But here's the catch. They were vampires in Australia. A very special breed of vampires, a very, very obscure bloodline of, I guess, Gangrel or Nosferatu. I will explain this confusion in a second. But they were called the Namorodo bloodline. And they appeared only once, not in like a setting for Australia, but in a separate thing. Again, in a magazine, but not in a White Wolf magazine, but in a Australian Realms magazine, number 14 or 15, I can't recall right now. Looking for them was hard because there's nothing on the internet about them. Nada. I found these screenshots, and that's it. Nothing else. Only in one place. So Namorodo were described, given to us by Marianne Pyre. Like you can see here. I put the screenshots here, and they are very obscure, very unknown to basically anyone. Even in lore of World of Darkness, most other kindred have no idea what they are. They might even be not kindred, like, Kuei-Jin. Or they can be more similar to Libon, but we don't know. We have only 2 pages about them in history. They were not retconned, they were not put anywhere else. They appear only in this one place. And it's not like in future World of Darkness that it's resurfacing. No, this is a very obscure stuff. So the Namorodo, as you can see here, are looking rather Nosferati, kinda. So that's my suspicion that they are a Nosferatu or Gangrel bloodline. Why Gangrel? Because of their discipline that doesn't have a name, which is cool. Their discipline is kinda like a mix of thaumaturgy, protean, and vicissitude in a way, kinda, because it allows them to change shape in a very gruesome and painful ways for them. They feel pain using this discipline on the lower levels. And higher elder powers, 6, 7, 8, are basically magic. Like closer to werewolf gifts than disciplines, but elder disciplines are strange. So yeah, Namurodo are weird. They embrace people from all different backgrounds with one special trait. Those who love to travel, to wander, not wander like imagine things, but wander around, uh, just walking, looking for something, kind of like Ravnus with their Roma connection. Uh, Travelers, adventurers in a way, those who prefer to be for themselves, uh, doing their own thing. Even breaking the law is very much appreciated in the bloodline because they care not for the rules of mortal man. So yeah, they are strange, they are weird, and their discipline. That's the thing I want to talk about. Obviously, their curse is that they are, Nosferatu in appearance. Not like an ugly monstrous, but, more like nightmarish in appearance. Their discipline, the nameless one, you can come up with a name. We're bringing this bloodline back. Let's go. So you can come up with a name in the comments for this discipline. Let's go. Through individual powers. Why I haven't go about individual powers in previous bloodlines? Well, because this one's more interesting for me. And the more obscure, so I will give it a little bit more time. So the first shift form, basically, it's called, as you can see here, allows the vampire to not be ugly, to assume the appearance of another person. And that's that, basically. This whole discipline revolves around, hiding, traveling, and stuff like this. The second power, becoming the shadow, literally allows the Namurodo to become a shadow. They stretch their body, become extra thin, and melt into the shadow of an object. And this is a very dangerous power because it only works at sunrise. And only for shadows created by sun. So that's basically the last resort power, but still useful. Third level, Earth melt into the Earth, is basically the same as the protein power. Earth melt, you just collapse into the ground and stay there. Transformation, the fourth level, is also pretty much the same as for gangrels and their discipline. You just assume the guise of an animal, like a bird, a dog, or something, whatever, a platypus, parry the platypus. So yeah, stepping the crack, the fifth level, allows the Namurodo to become extra thin again and hide and pass through very, very narrow spaces, like cracks in the wall, moving through cracks in the tree bark, like passing through very narrow passages in stone between like boulders. So this is a very ambush and hiding style power. And now we're moving to the weird stuff. Yeah. I won't go much into this because it's weird and strange and kind of hard to explain. So, sixth level, Ride the Wind, allows the number to create like a powerful gust of wind, and like ride on it, fly kind of. 7, call the land. Uh, you literally call spirits of the land, like the Umbra spirits, spirits from Umbra, and question them. Ask them questions. Level 8, yeah, it goes up to 10. So the first Namorodo must have been at least 4th generation. I assume it was like a rogue Niktuku or something. So level 8, binding the spirit. Uh, Basically the same thing as level 7, but you can force a spirit to do something for you. So kind of like with the thaumaturgical path of spirit manipulation. So that's that. Peak to the Sky, level 9. Again, kinda magical, because the Namrodo can control the weather, create powerful effects like a downpour, strong, ultra strong wind, like thunderstorms. That's level 9. And level 10, it's basically Garu shit. Uh, Change dreaming. You can enter into someone's dream, like physically, and do stuff in their dreams and manipulate them through that. So that's that. These are the Namorodo. Like, as you can see here, very handsome, very Nosferatish. Yeah, let's bring that bloodline back because they are very, very cool. I love them. Most likely I will make a homebrew about them in the V20 system. But yeah, very interesting bloodline, very obscure. Like I said, in Australian realms, 14 or 15, with a very interesting discipline. So either Gangrel, Nosferatu, or maybe even a Tzimisce bloodline. Who knows? All we have for them is these 2 pages. And that's for this episode of Chantry Lectures. Like half an hour episode. I think it's cool. I hope you enjoyed. If there are other very obscure bloodlines, you can tell me in the comments there, and I will research them and make a video about them. And obviously, other obscure and weird bloodlines will have their time, like Blood Brothers. I'm getting ready to create a video about Blood Brothers and other more known and artificial bloodlines. Like, I made a video about gargoyles. So Blood Brothers and other weird stuff is next. But I wanted to make this because it's very interesting and very fun to talk about. So I hope you enjoyed. Drop some names for the weird Namorodo discipline in the comments. And I hope I will be out of this Chantry basement soon. In, I hope, a couple of episodes when I earn my room back. Yeah. So, see ya.